That was 6. There are now 6/4/4 angels on the battlefield, all of which are attacking.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out this Keranos all-permanents deck. Can we win without using instants and sorceries? Find out next on Commander Replay.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Keranos God of Storms today. Today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter Ryan. Take a look at this opening hand. Got 3 lands, got some ramp, got a Heuristic Study. I feel pretty good about that. Let's go ahead and keep. So this is an interesting take on Keranos. This deck is all permanents. There are no spells in this deck. No instants and sorceries. It's a very creature-based deck, so we see things like Mirror March, there's a Flame Shadow Conjuring in the deck, there's a Sunbird's Invocation in here. It's basically just going to be an Izzet deck that wants to play some cool creatures, try to make some copies of them. And it's also got a really big curve to it, so there is a lot of mana ramp in the deck. I did make 2 little changes to the deck before the game just to make sure that we have enough ramp to support the large number of 5 and 6 drops in the deck. And those were, I added in a Hazoret's Monument and a Kefnet's Monument, and I think those are going to help us both with the mana cost plus the little abilities you get on top of them. So anyway, we draw into this Voracious Shark. Let's get going. Let's play this island right here, and we'll tap out and pass. Soul Ring for the Akiri opponent. And that brings it back to our turn. We draw an Underworld Breach. Won't need that until later. Let's go ahead and play the colored mana, I guess. And we'll pass like that. So yeah, being that this is an all-permanent Izzet deck, this is going to be a more chill deck. This is probably going to be something like a 5 to a 6 on the power scale. Definitely better for a setting where no one's trying to go wild with what they're doing, so... Authority of the Console is coming in for opponent. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal, actually. That shuts down our Mirror March, or makes it significantly less good than it would have been otherwise, so hopefully someone wants to deal with that. Opponent going to go for their Akiri Fearless Voyager right here, and opponent's going to gain some life off of that. But yeah, I played some webcam games with Ryan, and yeah, he's played a lot of these blue-red chill type decks, which, yeah, they're really fun to play against because it's not like Izzet Spellslinger, which is just like sit back and then try to storm off when the time is right. Not the most fun thing to face down, necessarily. Idol of Oblivion for opponent. Ooh, we draw a Talisman right here, showing up a turn late. Gonna make things a little awkward for us. Play the Desolate Lighthouse. I think I'm gonna go for the Heuristic Study because I'm trying to get to the next land. But, you know, if we drew that a turn sooner, that would have been so much better. So we are playing Keranos God of Storms. 6/5 Indestructible is not a creature if your devotion to blue and red is less than 7. Reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land, do 3 damage to any target. Kind of cool little card, just going to give us a little bit of support, little extra card draw, a little bit of damage that we can point at various targets, which should be helpful. Opponent gets themselves a Hainware Militia Captain, cool card for token decks. We're going to get to draw with the Heuristic Study right here as opponent casts a Darksteel Plate. Did not catch the land right there, but still got some chances left. Equip and swing. Equip and swing. Yep, coming our way. Heuristic Study will do that. Opponent gets to draw a card. We take 3 damage. 3, Commander. Talani's Summoner coming into play. Yeah, cool card. We get to draw again. Come on, land. There's the land. Excellent. Ooh, and the Soul Ring. Yeah, all right. Let's get the ramp going. Play the Command Tower. What is the best way to do this? Does it matter? I don't know. Play the Soul Ring. Play the Hedron Archive. The Talisman. And we have ramped. We have ramped past the turn. That was a pretty good turn. Feel great about that. So, like I mentioned, this deck does have a very high mana curve. I'll flip over to it. 12 5 drops, and I think I cut one. 11 6 drops, and I think I cut one. Or maybe I didn't cut a 5 drop, but I definitely cut a 6 drop to get in these 2 monuments, just because staring down a mana curve that looks like this is a really clunky mana curve, and for what works on camera and not having to play the deck like 4 times to try to get everything to work, you know, just cutting a card, adding a piece of ramp in its spot is going to work best for the video. But anyway, yeah, a deck like this does need a lot of ramp. I think I counted about 14 pieces before I added the 2 things in. So we're definitely in that like 15 plus kind of range with the ramp in this deck, and that is absolutely necessary when you're playing a giant mana curve like the one that this deck has. It is somewhat reminiscent of my Angel deck, and that deck's able to get a lot of work done because it runs a ton of ramp. And so I expect the same to be true here, that if you just ramp really big, you know, you'll be able to start slamming all these big things. You know, on turn 5, we're going to be able to start casting some 6 drops here, and that seems like a really good idea. Probably start with the Mirror March, since that's the best one we've got, and can get us lots of value, and that is cool. Core Blade Master coming into play. That'll trigger the heuristic study. Opponent pays. This will give a double strike, and if we don't get a blocker in, that will speed up the clock pretty dramatically if they want to keep coming our way, which they might, because ramp and heuristic study. Ancestral Blade, we get to draw. It's a Mystic Remora. Ancestral Blade comes in and gets a free equip. Talani Summoner going on the attack. Opponent's going to make themselves some elementals? Sure. Opponent points out that Akiri is no longer bugged. There used to be a bug where, regardless of how many players you attack, you would only draw one card, so it seems that that is now working properly. Opponents can draw with the Idol of Oblivion, sure. Getting themselves some value. Thankfully not attacking us. We took a pretty big hit right there. We took 6 more commander last turn. We're up to 9 commander damage. We are going to want some blockers. Ooh, yeah, might be on Frost Titan. Just because we can't take any more Akiri hits. It's not a thing we want to be doing. There's the land we need. Excellent. Play the land. Check out our mana situation. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 mana on turn 5. How about that? Unfortunately, that makes us just a little bit short of Mirror March and Frost Titan. We are 1 short of Frost Titan 5-drop, which is a little bit frustrating. We could probably shoot this double strike thing. That might help us out a little bit. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Terror of the Peaks. It comes in tapped, unfortunately. Then play Keranos. Why didn't that work? Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, it should be a creature when it ETBs. I don't think it's not a creature until state-based things are checked, right? Well, that's unfortunate. This is probably going to hurt a bit then, unless there's a board wipe coming. Nope. Crested Sunmare into the heuristic study. We get to draw. Thrix. Sudden Storm. Yeah, these come into play tap effects are, 1, really good at shutting down haste, which is super annoying, but 2, also really good at, if you don't have creatures in play, if you're the one that's kind of like hanging back like we were doing, it's now tough to get blockers into play, and like, there's a world, if opponent has a big equipment right here, they could just take us out of the game. That would not be great. They would need +3. It's not even that hard to do. They do swords right there, and they pay the heuristic study. Ooh. Yeah, they could probably take us out, which would not be ideal. All right, puts it on the Blade Master, thankfully. Opponent going to send not the commander at us, thankfully. I'm okay with that. Opponent will get to draw 3 cards. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. They would have actually been able to just kill us, though. Yeah, Akiri can kill people really quickly. Like, if they don't put up any interaction. In the games I've played, I've seen turn 5, turn 6, you can present lethal to someone pretty easily if you get some double strike. Smothering Tithe for opponent. Eee. Smothering Tithe heuristic study is a bad combination of things to have on the battlefield. We draw a land. We draw another land, and that'll trigger Keranos. Not paying for the Tithe. Opponent's going to draw a card. Yep. I don't think they made a token this turn, did they? Oh, that's a token, isn't it? Any token? Any token. Yeah, that does work. How about that? Smothering Tithe, trigger. We draw into a Magmatic Force. Yes. We still need some more mana for that, though. Not paying right here. There's cost reduction. Cost reduction is very helpful. Play some... I don't know, what are we playing this turn? I think we're going to be on 11 mana, which is a fairly annoying amount to be on. Spells with converted mana cost 5 or greater cost 1 less. Let's play an island. 9 cards in hand, so we got to cast something. Cast Thrix right now. Terror of the Peaks gets to shoot something for 4. That's not scary yet. Let's get rid of this double strike guy. That makes things lethal pretty quickly. Opponent gets to draw a card. Maybe we could have Mirror March first. Yeah, that would have made sense, I think. Oops. We have... I guess we play Mirror March. And then Slam Mystic Remora, I guess? And then I'm just going to leave up blockers. Because stuff. Definitely could have did that in the reverse order, though. That was kind of a whoopsie. Skyclave Relic for opponent. One that I haven't seen a ton of yet. And they're going for the kicked mode on it. It's going to be a Mystic Remora and a heuristic study trigger. We're going to keep drawing. Sunbird's Invocation, yes please. Use the Mystic Remora. It's a Felwar Stone. Not paying. Adriana's going to have some mana. We're drawing so many cards. Skyclave Relic is going to make its 2 copies. Don't really know how to evaluate this card yet. I need to play it somewhere to kind of get a feel for it. It's indestructible, which is cool. I definitely like that. It's flexible, which is also cool. It is a 3-for-1 mana rock, which, you know, those aren't the best mana rocks. There are videos of other content creators talking about how those are quote-unquote unplayable. You know, they're not the best, they're not the worst. Playing a 3-mana rock is better than not playing a piece of ramp at all, right? Yes, obviously you want to ramp with 2-mana rocks when you can, but this one does present a nice degree of flexibility to it, which I do like. It's indestructible, which is also great. So, you know, if you're getting into a situation where you're trying to ramp up to the later parts of the game, Like, if they're trying to catch up to us mana-wise, then yeah, it makes sense to go for the kicker right there. It's also nice that if it gets rifted, which, that's a thing that happens, then you have the option to kick it if you want. And I like that the 1 itself comes in untapped. Not paying for the Smothering Tide, we draw ourselves into a Consecrated Sphinx off of the spell. There's a Bygone Bishop for opponent. Move the Scavenger's Blade to the Stonehaven Outfitter. Yep. Sending Akiri our way. It's indestructible. Opponent's gonna draw 3 more cards. Yep. Sean has so many tokens. I hope he doesn't have a board wipe, like especially a artifact enchantment-based board wipe. That would be bad. That would be bad. Let's block with Keranos. It's not to take some damage. Sean's gonna have a pretty good turn here. They starts with 10 treasures. See what he's got. There's Adriana. That means the board wipe's probably not coming. Feel good about that. Heuristic Study trigger. We'll draw. Flame Shadow Conjuring. Nice. Oh, Authority of the Consoles ruining our life. We could do so much ridiculous stuff this turn. Divine Visitation. It's also a pretty good one. Heuristic Study, Mystic Remora. We'll draw. He gets more mana. That's in a Tali. We draw again. Kasmina's Transmutation could be useful. No spells in the deck, but we could really use a Mana Geyser to get all this stuff out of our hand. Oh, man. Talani Summoner going on the attack. Melee trigger. Gonna draw a card. I think he stacked that wrong. Maybe not. I don't think there's a way to make that work the way you want it to. Goes, what is that, X5 on the ability? Oh my, those are 4/4 angels. Maybe that was 6. That was 6. There are now 6 4/4 angels on the battlefield, all of which are attacking. How many coming our way? Looks like 2 our way. I don't want to give up the terror for them. Everyone else going to be taking a punch right here, though. New life totals, 49, 19, 29, and we're at 19. Cumulative upkeep 1. We staying with it? I think we'll stay with it. Oop, is that our Mana Crypt? That's our Mana Crypt. Keranos trigger, what are we shooting? We have 3 damage. Let's start shooting stuff. Let's start with the Stonehaven Outfitter, since that draws a lot of cards. Not paying. Play the Mana Crypt. We have many things we could do this turn. So many options. I think we want to get creatures into play, as much as I want to get Sunbirds going. Sunbirds might be for another turn. Well, maybe we can get Sunbirds first. Sunbirds will cost 5? Yeah, I mean, we have to get Sunbirds, right? It's just such a ridiculous card. Get Sunbirds. Get Frost Titan. Sunbirds trigger. Oh, that's an Inferno Titan. Oh my. Clever Impersonator. What is this copy? Any permanent on the battlefield. That's kind of ridiculous. I feel pretty good about that Authority of the Consoles, honestly. Inferno Titan is also really, really cool. Ilhar gives us the ability to kind of get things out of our hand quicker. I think I'm going for the life gain because we don't really have a way to gain life back. As boring as that is. Going for the Authority of the Consoles. Frost Titan into play. Bunch of triggers. Frost Titan, lock down the Akiri. Ice it up. Terror of the Peaks. Start shooting these angels. They're kind of dangerous. Authority trigger. Mirror March trigger. Let's go heads. Oh, we got 2 extra Frost Titans. Oh my. Tap Adriana. Terror of the Peaks, another angel. We'll have 3 total mana left. Probably just Felwar Stone. Play the Mutation. Yeah, I like that. Play an island. Play the Felwar Stone. Sunbirds trigger. Hey, we actually hit something. We hit a Spellskite. Nice. There's not a lot at the lower parts of the curve of this deck, so that is surprising. What's the power? So it'll be 0 power. Authority of the Consoles triggers. Tails. Oh, we get 2 more of them. Start hitting all these 0 power triggers in the face. Keeps triggering opponents' Authority of the Consoles, though. Their life total just keeps going up. It keeps going up. And I'm going to transmutate on the Adriana, because Adriana's kind of nasty. Can make the angels very lethal. Nothing in that pile. Skip past 2 lands. I think we're still on the sit and back plan. Creatures on board, we need to be able to block. Exile the Mirror March tokens. Mangara coming into play. Heuristic Study. They waited surprisingly long to get their Mangara. Turn 7. I guess they went on the horse plan first. Comes in tapped. We gain a life. Heliod into play. Uh-oh. Heuristic Study. There's a land. Gonna give a creature lifelink? Sure. Let's swing over to Adriana. Yep. Right now, based on how things are going, I kind of want to see a Walking Atlas in this deck because we're drawing cards like crazy. I guess we have both Heuristic Study and Mystic Remora, and no one's paying for either of them. But based on all that card draw, I think I'd like to see a Walking Atlas. I know it's a bit of a trade-off versus some other mana rocks, but we do seem to be drawing pretty well. And even Keranos has built-in card draw, so there will be times, because like the thing I'm worried about right now is an Austere Command, which we can't really do anything about. But the thing that would help us is just tapping a Walking Atlas repetitively and like getting all these lands into play. Could also be like Burnished Heart and stuff like that too, but some way to get more lands in, just to kind of make the deck a little bit less fragile to white-based removal. Storm's asking, what does he even blow up? Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in play now. A lot of value pieces. And a lot of it can be redirected to Spellskite also. Opponent's going to disenchant the Divine Visitation. And that's because we have a Spellskite in play, so that, it's not worth it to try and disenchant and have it redirected to the Spellskite. So I get it. They were discussing it in chat for a moment. Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora. We draw. Ox of Agonis. Haven't really used this one that much. Smothering Tithe. When it enters the battlefield, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. And it has escape, exile 8 other cards from your graveyard, cast it from the graveyard. If it escapes, it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, it's creature-based card draw. It's not the best thing ever. Certain styles of decks, potentially, but I wouldn't use it everywhere. Draw with the Remora. Mirror Maid. Copy any artifact or enchantment on the battlefield. Cool. Sunbird's number 2. Oh, the silliness. Problem is, we don't really have a way to protect any of this stuff, and with Authority of the Consoles in play, not exactly going to be able to just, throw out a bunch of creatures that we can attack with and get the damage going that we really need. So, yeah, that's all a thing. Oh, opponent's going to let the Fairies protect. They, want to hang on to their Divine Visitation right there. Well, more card draw for us. Another land. Smothering Tithe token. Disenchant's going to fizzle. Bloodshot Trainee. I've been thinking about putting that card back in Aurelia, because if you put a sword on it, Aurelia can untap it. That's repeatable creature removal. That has piqued my interest. Haven't tested it yet, but it's been something I've been thinking about. Repeatable removal is really good. And that's the type of thing that it's if opponents want to shoot that, go ahead. You want to use a swords or a path on that? Be my guest. Maybe the thing to think about this turn is that we just start shooting people in the face with Terror of the Peaks. We gain a life. Ajani, Strength of the Pride. Oh, this could be bad. Hopefully they don't have a way to gain 1,000,000 life this turn. Card draw for us. We are a disgusting number of cards ahead of our opponents in terms of card draw. About 20? Pretty ridiculous. Rhystic Study that no one has paid for. Mystic Remora. Draw again. Luca. Copper Code Outcast. I'm going to have to read that one. Exile top 3 cards of your library. Creature cards exiled this way. You can cast them as long as you control the Planeswalker. Exile target creature you control, then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card with higher converted mana cost. Put it onto the battlefield, rest on the bottom. It's fine. Probably not part of our plans this turn. If Sean even goes War Report after this Ajani, gains 1,000,000 life, and then gets us with the 0, I'm going to be really annoyed. Please don't be Exile. It's Exile, which means Underworld Breach, not going to save our stuff should that happen. If he casts any more spells, I'm actually going to stop drawing because we've been feeding him mana like crazy. And the more mana we feed him, the more trouble we're likely to get ourselves into at this moment. So, Mana Echoes, that's kind of bad, actually. Mangara is going to draw. That'll feed him mana. Smothering Tithe? Yeah, things can get wild here if... I'm actually going to say no on the card draw so that he can't just, storm off this turn somehow. With tokens, nonetheless. Come on, no token produce. Oh, we still got this thing? Well, that all happens during combat, so that means it has to be instant speed mana. That's something. Yeah, it's a Sunforger. It's not good. Teferi's Protection's down. That is good. I'm going to say no. Continuing on our theme. Oh, I don't think we can use Spellskite to redirect the equip. Because you can only equip to a creature you control. As far as I know. Maybe we copy the Mirror March, because that'll make more creatures, potentially. And the creatures are what will get the damage to shoot people in the face. Man, imagine if we haven't transmuted the Adriana. This would be so much damage. They're going to do our opponents. We have the 2 flyers keeping them away. Mangara is going to trigger and get a draw. Ooh, that token matters because now they'll have mana to equip and activate Sunforger one time. He's going to pay for the Summoner's ability. So no mana for Sunforger currently, which is good news for us. But many more Angels going on the attack. Authority of the Consoles is going to trigger a bunch of times. Mana Echoes is going to trigger a bunch of times. Heliod Suncrown is going to trigger for opponent, making their stuff huge. So we get 4 life off of the Authority of the Consoles. And opponent's going to get a lot of colorless mana. Can they do anything with it at instant speed? Seems unlikely since they have no colored mana open. Ends up with a cool 32 colorless mana that I don't think they can spend. Ouch. Well, there's a bunch of them coming our way. Yeah, we're going to block. No, don't block with that one. Thrix can do some blocking, though. Opponent's gonna block with their Bygone Bishop and then use Sajiri Shelter to keep it alive. Mystic Remora Ristic Study. You know, I think I'm actually gonna draw right here. I'm looking at the creatures in our hand. I think we want just a couple more creatures. Because Ox isn't really one that we want to play. Draw one. Platinum Empyrean. Perfect. I feel good with that. That's plenty of creatures. No need to feed any more mana. Unfortunately, we can't gain life with Platinum Empyrean either. But, you know, not losing life is also cool. No with the Remora. Yeah, opponent's saying tragic. Nothing to sink that mana into. Opponent's going to gain themselves a bunch of life. Goes up to 37. Does make it harder for us to kill them trying to do the thing that we're going to do. Brings it back to our turn. I think I'm going to let the Remora go this turn. We have so many cards in hand, and I feel good. I feel good about where we're at. Mana Crypt flip. Tails? Lost the flip. Smothering Tithe, Keranos trigger. Not paying. Draw more lands. Another Smothering Tithe token. Alright, we've got a lot of things to do. Start with the Kefnet's Monument. That'll trigger Sunbirds. Nothing in that stack, just lands. Get Mirror Maid on Mirror March. Sunbirds and Mangara will trigger. Nothing there. Passing by on Akiri makes me sad. Copy the Mirror March. Start with the Platinum Empyrean. 7. Shouldn't this cost... oh, it's not blue. Right. Right. Oh, that's so much mana, though. That's like most of our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that only leaves us with 3 mana left. I actually know that there's a lot we can do with that. We could probably cast, like, the Shark or something. The problem is that, like, I don't think we have enough damage to kill opponent. I guess it depends on how many Platinum Empyreans we get. We can cast 1 6-drop after. Okay. I guess that's what we're doing. Oh, maybe I miscounted. Sunbird's Invocation. Kefnet's Monument. Let's start tapping down these angels. There's some creatures. Thassa Deep Dwelling allows us to get more terror triggers. Yeah, I think it's got to be that. Oh, it doesn't actually tap it? Yeah, it just says doesn't untap. Okay. Let's tap the Talanis. That thing's kind of crazy. Wait, does Mana Echoes trigger for us? Oh, they always get the mana. Ooh. There's some stuff. Let's start using the Terror of the Peaks ability. Heliod's gonna trigger. Oh, this board state. This is what happens when you play no removal in a game. Mirror March triggers. Let's go heads. Looks like we lost that one. Try it again. There's a trigger. Choose the Thassa to keep. We'll keep the original. More Terror of the Peaks action. More Heliod. Auto the Terror of the Peaks. More triggers. Heads. Need to win some of these. Did not win that one. Try it again. There's one. There's a cool 16 off of the Platinum Empyrean triggers. Oh man, I don't think we have enough left for... Wow, did I not plan everything out right? I don't think I did. Opponent's down to 9. 9 is not a great amount. Still got flyers left. 2 mana, that's cost reduction up to 4. That's cost reduction up to 5. Yeah. It's not great. Now, I guess we just play the Shark and don't counter anything. That's what we're doing. Play the Shark. Kefnets. Let's Kefnets on this Mangara that's huge. Sunbirds. Come on, creature. Ooh, Threat Dynamo's interesting. Berserker's Onslaught is also interesting. Magus gives us another creature trigger. Berserker's Onslaught gives us a lot of damage. Does Thran Dynamo do anything? I don't think it does that much. Berserker's Onslaught, I guess. Seems like the most impactful. Bunch of triggers. Let's go Tails this time. Nope, nothing there. Try Tails again. There's one. Terror of the Peaks. This should take Sean out of the game. Sorry, Sean. This must feel terrible. We're essentially storming off with creatures, a thing that I didn't really know was possible, especially in this context. Sean goes down, -1. We're at 14. Our life total can't change. That's good news. Akiri can untap. That's a thing to be careful of. They're at 15, though. They've only got 2 blockers. So I think if we just send all of these, leave that one back. Oh, right, Frost Titan will tap things down. Also helpful. Frost Titan on Akiri just to be... Actually, no. Tap creatures over here. I don't think he's going to survive, so... Go like that. Opponent goes down. Brings it to our end step. Our Mirror March tokens get exiled. We get a Thassa Deep Dwelling trigger. What are we bouncing? Frost Titan, probably? Frost Titan. Authority triggers, Mirror March triggers, Frost Titan triggers. Is this any permanent? Any permanent. Tapomeria, I guess. Terror of the Peaks. This is 6. Doesn't kill either of these things, so I think we just go to the face. Tails? Nope. Tails again. Also nope. And our tokens get exiled. Then we discard the hand size. Terramorphic, Island, Mountain. Not really feeling the Ox. We have so many cards in hand. Don't want to get rid of that. Discard this land. A board wipe is bad, especially if it's Austere Command. I mean, that kind of resets us. As good of a position as that we're in, yeah, you know. Even a creature-based board wipe would slow us down, and would take us time to present lethal. Pearl Medallion for opponents. We get to draw. It's a land. A Johnny's Pride Mate. Sure. We draw. Dragon Mage. Ranger Captain of Eos. Ha! No spells in our deck. Heuristic Study. Ooh, our Authority makes all their blockers come in tap. That's actually coming in really handy right now. Authority of the Consoles. So good. What a ridiculous card. Sarah Ascendant pays for the study. Sean said we were all dead if he untapped. Yeah, I noticed. He said War Report the board with... He had War Report with Wipe the board with a Johnny. He may have been able to do that on his turn if he planned better. I think with better planning, he gets there. Opponent's coming in with a 5/5 Heliod. Our life total can't change, so I think we're okay. And he scoops it right there. Yeah, this is going to be such a ridiculous hit. That was going to be 39 power of creatures with double strike. So just under 80 damage. What is that, 78? Yeah, that would have been a big hit, and that doesn't include any additional Terror of the Peaks triggers. All right. So, yeah, it worked. I was a little nervous. I was a little nervous about the mana curve going in, so I cut a 6-drop. I cut the treasure map to get the Kefnet's Monument in. I would definitely check these out. I think you'll like these. It's more cost reduction for a deck with a super high mana curve, especially Kefnet's Monument where things don't untap is really, really cool. Hazrets you can choose to loot if you need to loot some stuff away. So yeah, this deck, it's very glass cannon-y. Feels like Creature Storm is what it feels like. You get all the value pieces going, and then you just play an awesome creature and try to get multiple copies of it. We got slowed down a lot by the Authority of the Consoles from opponent. We would have been sending so much damage at our opponents with attacks from the tokens that we just kind of lost because of Authority. So, you know, that's the thing of playing a deck like this, is that it doesn't answer things particularly well. Once that Authority's in play, it's just kind of there unless someone else deals with it. So yeah, fun little deck. As far as changes, I'd have to look to see what's available in the permanent pool of cards. Like Nev's Disc is something you might want to think about if things really get out of hand, or if you get it early, you can kind of slow roll with it and, you know, blow up some things early and then start doing your stuff. But any amount of removal that you can find in creature form is going to be good. I don't know how much enchantment removal there is in blue and red creatures. Maybe a Meteor Golem up here. I think it was in the sideboard, actually. I think he had a Meteor Golem. I'd probably bring that in. Honestly, I think I'd bring that in over the Sandstone Oracle. You know, Keranos should draw some cards. You have blue things that draw cards. I feel like Sandstone Oracle isn't exactly where you need to be. It's fine. Like, it's not awful, but I think I'd rather take the removal over that. But yeah, it's a cool little deck. We got to do some stuff. You know, this is going to be a more casual setting type of deck, low removal type of setting. Any removal at all, and our deck gets slowed down quite a bit, and we're not doing nearly the things that we were in this game. So, you know, it's very much a glass cannon. Sometimes you get to do everything, sometimes you get stopped, and you really don't get to do much of anything. So, yeah, if that fits your playstyle, worth checking out this deck list. Thank you to Ryan for sending this in, and I guess I'll wrap it up there. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.
I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one returning Patreon supporter in Casey McClara. Casey, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below.